Their sprite will glitch out, and more importantly, their command list in battle changes depending on their job. So when their job is glitched... Okay. Oops. Shit. Alright, we got it. Meant Toad. Alright. So when you have a non-standard job or a glitched job, you get a unique command list. Most of the battle commands will just crash the game. But certain jobs and certain battle commands can do really interesting things. For instance, one particular job in battle command will give you the end the battle command, which literally just ends the battle. It's not a win or a loss, it just ends the battle. Which is kind of weird. And under a certain scenario, you can also get a command that kind of just calls the credits. So the any % run, you glitch a job, you glitch a player's job early on in the game, and you warp to the credits in the first town in the first 6 minutes of the game. Yeah. So I like to play through the game a little bit, so I just call it no job glitch. Alright, sorry. I was going from memory there for a sec. I think I need to... Yeah, so I bought Turvings here. This happens to be the strongest sword for a red mage, just to deal a little bit of additional damage.
As if 3,000 wasn't enough.
Yeah. Now remember a while back when I was doing a little bit of level grinding, I said I had to power on and off. I had to hard reset it so I can get into a battle faster. Because at that point in my encounter steps, there weren't going to be any battles for a while. This illustrates that. For some reason, after that previous battle that I skipped, there's no battles for like 70 steps. So I'm not skipping battles, I'm just walking. There just happens to be no battles for a long time. So that kind of illustrates how much of a pain it was when I was grinding. So I purposely reset back then to get into a battle faster. Of course, in this case, it's convenient. So, anyways, yeah, you can finish the game any % by glitching out a character's job and calling the credits in the first town. And actually, I started routing this game before that glitch was discovered, and I was kind of upset that my routing would kind of go to waste if I was just going to do any % and not really play the game. The whole reason why I want to play the game was just to kind of chill and see the game and listen to the music and stuff. Just kind of have a fun stream with it. And any % doesn't allow that. So here's a boss.
There was a boss.
So literally, like my notes say, boss, Guzco, attack. Like, yeah, okay. So a couple of bosses you need to actually do something, but you pretty much just trash everybody at this point. So having that exit spell really helps here. So I need to re-enter the dwarf cave and return the horn, and oh, this mysterious line is following me around. What could it be?
What's
Really
there a
weird.
purpose for that line following you?
Oh, okay. Who knows?
It represents the dead bodies he's carrying with him.
Good old corpse dragon.
So you place the horn back, and oh no, haha! I've been following you as a mysterious line. All right, that's great.
He just stand there and steals the horn.
So I like to impulsively cast exit to move around faster. It's way easier. Next dungeon, also kind of a hard dungeon, but with battle skips, without having to grind, you just wreck the game.
As if you didn't already.
Yeah.
Oh no, tomato soup.
Oh, the tomato soup. Yeah, that's right. Pretty delicious. So when I'm on ground, again, if I press down, it'll attempt to move on to that tomato soup tile. Because it's a walkable tile, but I can't walk onto it from the tile that I'm currently on. So because of that, like the game still will count it for every frame that you're pressing the button up against that tile. It'll increment your steps by 1. So I want to be really careful when walking around tiles that I can walk onto but can't from the current tile, if that makes any sense. Which is usually like maneuvering around water and stuff like that. So you'll see me like walk carefully. Of course, when you're in the water or tomato soup, it doesn't really matter. So I have most of the locations memorized for where the encounters happen at. but not all of them. It's really hard to memorize like 188 spots to stand and pause the game. So I still look at my guide for reference just in case. And that was the Flame Cave. That's it. Just bust Salamander here. No problem. Ice 2's animation is slightly faster than the multiple sword hits. And before I leave this area, so when you're walking around in the crystal room, your steps, it is counting your steps, but there's no battles. If I leave the area immediately, I'll get into a battle right away. But instead I'm going to walk to 4 steps, and that should skip the battle. So just like small time saver. So I gotta enter this place to trigger a cutscene with this guy, unlocking the events in whatever it's called, the next town. But before I go, if you talk to this dwarf, he'll give you a magic key. Boom. And that'll let me solve the next dungeon. Also, you're supposed to go and reap a whole bunch of rewards from the dwarves there, but I don't even care about them. Oh, also I want to cast Mini now before entering the next town, in addition to skipping that battle. Yeah, there's one more battle on the boat. It's kind of hard to spot. A visual cue is as soon as water appears on the left side of the screen, and you're lined up right there. Okay. And I'm going to park my boat here, because you'll exit the next dungeon from that forest and the boat will be right there. So no battles here. There's actually going to be a battle immediately in the next dungeon unless I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 walk an additional 6 steps. So, oh no, ambush from Topple. Uh-oh. So apparently a bunch of people were kidnapped in Heinz Castle, which is underneath the desert. So I was sent to prison. I'm already in mini status, so I escape immediately. Because I walked an additional 6 steps, there's no encounters in this dungeon, or in this part of the dungeon. I like this dungeon track. Again, the music in this game is awesome. It's right there. Alright, so doing good so far. Haven't gotten into any accidental battles yet, which is pretty rare for me. I usually like monologue too much and don't pay attention. Looks like we're doing okay. Oh yeah, I should probably unmini at the same time as I skip this battle. Alright. This is the first kind of maze-like dungeon, you know, it's not too hard, but you know, a lot of times the game will make you go out of your way for items, and because of that you end up fighting in more battles than you normally would. Which is actually good because you usually need to grind before every boss in this game. But I can skip right past all that and go straight to the bosses in the dungeon. Yeah, so this game is very brutal normally. Like, there's no save points except for on the world map. That's the only place you can save. So normally the game expects you to have a scholar on your party at this point. And I think this guy changes weaknesses when you hit him. You're supposed to use a scholar to determine his next weakness, and then you know, whatever. But Fiesel's level 166, or he's level potion, so he's able to take down pretty much anybody.
God, I need no scholars.
Yep, pretty much. So that saved everybody in Argus Castle. You know, the castle that I completely looted of all their cash, but they don't seem to be too upset. And apparently, to escape the castle, you gotta dance. It's time to dance. Yeah, I don't know the point of that.
Yeah.
There we go. We've arrived. And now you're in the Living Forest, and you get the Wind Fang here. But you don't actually need the fangs. You just need to trigger the event that gives you the fangs. If you remember from before, I actually glitched the water fang I got into an earth fang and into a loot, so I don't have a water fang anymore. You're supposed to have all 4 fangs to access the final dungeon. You don't really need them in your inventory, though. You just need to have triggered the events that gives them to you, so it's fine that I glitched them away. So I stole all their cash, and as a reward for saving them, The king gives me time gear. I'm not really sure what makes that an appropriate reward for saving everybody, but turns out we need time gear. In fact, that's the next thing we do. In fact, like one of the few guys we actually talk to knows exactly what to do with time gear. Happens to be compatible with our ship. Apparently, time gear turns a ship into an airship, and only Sid knows how to do that. So we're gonna go talk to this guy, outfit our ship into an airship, and leave the floating continent. Everything we've been exploring so far has been on the floating continent, which is only one location on a much larger world map. So we'll fly to that world map right now. Of course, the main world is sunken. There's only a couple of locations. So the task will be to save the main world. So I'm gonna fly here, and it's hard to find the location of where to go. So I have a musical cue to tell me where to go. Hold on. Okay. Just wait for that downbeat, and that should put me in the right spot. I really like this music, by the way. Really, really calming music. Same with the shipwreck. Really good tunes in this game. Gotta be careful around those water tiles. So your steps are counting in this area. Oh, gotta use motion on her. So right after I finish talking to her, if I cast exit, I'll get into a battle immediately on the world map. But if I just take one step and then cast exit, I skip that battle. So there's minor things like that to save time. So now we take her to the water temple and kill the boss there. I think the water crystal shatters, and we reveal the rest of the main world. This is, like, besides the floating continent, the shipwreck, this is the only other location in the whole world map, and it's a huge world map. Like, when you first get here, you're just flying around randomly on your airship. So you might have seen that I did take a couple of extra turns on my airship there. When you're in your airship, it's not actually incrementing your steps. When you're in the boat, though, it does, because you can get battles in the boat. You can't get battles in this airship. So, talk to that water shard. If I have been stepping correctly, this should be the battle to skip. If I misstepped at all, I would have gotten into a battle. So it looks like we're good. Alright. And we needed to get her to open this door. That was the whole point of going to the shipwreck. Alright, time to navigate this dungeon. Not much going on. I don't know if there's any donations or anything, but I can just ramble otherwise. It's got 12 battles to skip in this dungeon, and that was 3. It's a mostly linear dungeon. It's not too bad. I think the queue is right there. Challenging myself to see if I remember where all the locations are at. Like, I'm not actively, like, running this game. Not too interested in, like, super optimizing the time. I just really liked the route. I really liked the routing process. It was really cool. There was a segmented SDA around that has a similar route. And there was an old task that uses job glitching without warping to the credits. The task is in 39 minutes by Pirihiko. This is a really, really interesting task. Really cool stuff. You get to see some wacky glitches in that one. It doesn't credit warp, but it does some crazy stuff to beat the game in 39 minutes.
I'm definitely gonna find that one after this.
It's really cool. The glitch, you have to see the glitched airship is what the glitch is called. It's crazy.
The glitch ship.
Yeah, it forces the airship to be like at the top of the screen, and the screen like shakes around a lot and makes this really loud like sound like as it's doing it. And it just has the unique property of being able to fly over mountains. So you just use the glitched airship to fly to the Silks Tower as soon as you get to the main world. So kind of cool. I think the battle's right there. Check. Yeah, it's a good spot. I always have trouble pointing out the location of the next battle. It's kind of a featureless like area, and your sprite is mostly submerged in water, so the queue is a little hard to see. Yeah, that's the spot. And one more, and we're out of the water cave, or water temple cave, whatever. Queue for that is being in the center of that wall. And time for the boss fight.
Time for Fiesel to flex his muscles again.
Yeah, exactly. And Elia has the brilliant idea of pushing me out of the way, as if I couldn't survive a poison dart at 42,000 health.
Yeah, that would hit Fiesel and be like, it's just a flesh wound, just a flesh
Yeah.
Eat the arrow.
wound. Yeah. I wonder where he'd be at level antidote.
That's like 2 levels higher. Doesn't help much though, apparently. So these events unlock the rest of the main world, as you'll see in a bit. And I guess the party passes out, and we'll wake up in the town of Ammer. Fiesel gets a free heal. Everybody else stays dead.
Well, technically only Fiesel passes out. The rest of them are still dead.
Yeah.
Diesel takes a nap.
So there's the rest of the main world.
On 3 floating bodies, of course.
And apparently you wake up like one day later, but I'm surprised like every house is furnished, everybody, like there's people there, like were they living underwater? Like where, like completely stocked item shop, you know, clean beds.
They've been around.
Everything's water.
I mean, yeah,
How
it's
many years?
pretty amazing actually. Children, like unharmed. So it takes too long to walk across town, so I'm gonna cast exit. And just enter town again. And then boom. You save like 10 seconds. Pretty sweet. Alright, so apparently what happened while we were passed out, so you saw our ship on the world map right there, our airship, and apparently there's some guy named Goldor that got jealous of our airship, so he anchored it down. And so we need to go kick his ass and get the key back to unanchor it. And his mansion happens to be across the swamp. It's like 2 tiles wide. And in order to cross the swamp, we have to get the floating shoes. Apparently the only person that has the floating shoes is the witch in the sewer. So we're now going to the sewer to kick the witch's ass to get the floating shoes to cross the swamp to kill Goldar to unlock our airship. So that's some serious plot. Like,
I thought gods could fly.
well, we will in just a moment.
You have to learn so first.
Alright, so here's the sewers. Hopefully I haven't messed up my steps yet. It should be the middle of that bridge. So, oh yeah, in the previous scene there was the 4 old men saw us. There's the silly old men, right? And while we were passed out, apparently people heard that there were light warriors in town, and these 4 old guys decided to say, hey, we're gonna just call ourselves the light warriors. And they heard about the real ones, and now they're gonna try to intercept us. But, of course, they get their asses caught by goblins, like level 1 goblins. So we're gonna save them, and they're gonna be forever in our debt.
If only they had glitched their inventory.
Yeah, exactly. So this battle is unavoidable. All right, come on. Okay, cool. Only 1 goblin managed to attack. Didn't waste as much time. So you're actually the steps counter is still active in this room, so I don't want to take any additional steps. And there's a chance one of the old guys can just quickly dash into the exit area. So I gotta hope that doesn't happen. All right, good. All right, man, this is a really small dungeon. I'm almost through it. There. This one's at the last bridge tile. Is yet another battle. And 2 steps from the bottom left corner is another battle. And that's the last one. So apparently the witch, when we approach the witch, she doesn't trust us. So instead of giving us floating shoes, she attempts to kill us with fake exploding floating shoes. But luckily the old guys are there to warn us just in time.
It's Mo, Larry, Curly, and Bob.
So There was the fake floating shoes that we narrowly dodged.
Airport security would have been right on your butt for that one.
The exploding shoes, yeah. No, they would have caught it. That's right. TSA for life. So we got the real floating shoes. The old guys are on our side now, so we're good. Do a little dance, cast exit for us, and we're out of here. Now we're gonna now we have the floating shoes to cross that one tile wide swamp. We're gonna head to Goldar's mansion. Yeah, you'll see the swamp. It's underwhelming. Like, there's no floating actually happening. Done. So this.
Just a quick couple of stuff over strong, no big deal.
It's just a shrubbery.
I must have said that's a coat layer if I've ever seen one.
So I used my one magic key to get in that locked door there. Actually, there's a whole bunch of locked doors in this dungeon. And the idea is to have gone to this one town that sells a bunch of keys, and you stock up on keys before coming here. And you explore the place. It's a huge place to explore. There's a lot of crap. But I know where the door is. I know where a few hidden passages are, and dungeon's done. Really, really a long dungeon to explore, but really fast if you know where you're going. So I remember Goldar being kind of a tricky fight before, but of course, and this is just trivialized with max damage.
So pointless.
So we, within a matter of 5 minutes, we managed to wake up from our coma, grab floating shoes, kick Goldar's ass, and we got our airship back. No problem.
Uh-oh, he's not done yet.
Yeah, he gets upset and breaks his crystal. I'm not even sure what the significance of that crystal was. The gold crystal.
It was shiny, it was pretty.
But hey, we can just glitch like 14 onion shields into infinite gold anyway, so we don't really care. So we're done. We're gonna cast exit, and should we battle right here, back across the treacherous swamplands. And a nice chocobo forest here to give us.
Walking over a puddle.
So the chocobos.
Uh-oh, time for some butt shaking.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, chocobo's movements are random. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Twerking.
All right, so I have a. All right, real quick, I have a musical cue for this part. Okay. It's kind of it's a large world map, and navigation is just a little tricky, but that should put me in the right spot. One tile away. And just in case the chocobo's movements were too random in there, I have a save spot right here, just a safety save, in case my steps were, in case I had to chase down a chocobo. I had a really good chocobo luck though. So enter this. So when I fabricated that loot earlier, it lets me wake up Oon pretty much right away. Instead of having to, you normally have to go through the sequence of events where you fly the airship above the castle of Salonia. They shoot down the airship and you have to change jobs to dragoons and fight this boss, and then you get another airship that's turned into a submarine, and you go to the Temple of Time and you get the loot. But we skipped all of that, so we have the loot already. Pretty nice.
Take it Fiesel's best friends with Link.
Playing the tune.
Well, that and having access to musical instruments in a game.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the only time we play it. I don't know why she was asleep, but we only need her to break these boulders. That let us access the main airship of the game. And it's too bad we warp out of this area really fast. I really like this theme. It's a really nice theme.
God, Fiesel's really lazy. He makes everyone else do all the heavy hard work, and all he does is just bitch slap at two people.
He's
Exit for him to like go to the fridge if he's hungry.
yeah. Exactly. Every possible shortcut. So now we have Oon in our party. Grab the airship. We're gonna head to the ancient labyrinth, I think. With her, we can access the ancient labyrinth and get the main airship of the game. The whole point of getting this airship is to be able to fly over mountains. We need to complete the dungeon that gives you the Earth. Okay, so I accidentally got into a battle because I was monologuing, but we need to complete the next dungeon in order to get the Earth Fang, or rather trigger the event that gives us the Earth Fang, which is the last Fang. and having all 4 of those fangs will let us access the final dungeon. So that's the whole point of this. The only way to access the dungeon is to fly over mountains. The only way to fly over mountains is to get the airship invincible. The only way to get the airship invincible is to have Un to break the boulders. The only way to get Un is to have the loot. We made our own loot, so that's nice. So that's pretty much what's happening over the next 20 minutes or so.
Ironically, you made the loot out of the earth things.
That's right. That's exactly right. But like I said, we don't actually need the Earth Fang. Just triggering the event apparently is enough for the game's programming to get us by here. So that was my first encounter I accidentally got into. So because of that, to keep my steps back on track, I'm going to use 2 potions here. There's normally a battle that happens there. So 1 potion for the previous battle since I was 1 step ahead, and another potion to skip that battle. So here's Un busting these Adamantite boulders, apparently. Can't forget about the next battle. Like I'm always like talking about the boulders by this point, so. And this is kind of a crappy dungeon, like really, really crappy. So for one, since we skipped a large sequence of events, the enemies in this area are much higher level. I probably won't be able to kill any enemies here with a cast of Ice 2. The annoying part. The annoying part is that all of the enemies in this dungeon, they split when you hit them. If you hit an enemy and they don't die, they split into 2. And the 2 enemies inherit the current HP of the original. So if I casted Ice 2 on 3 enemies, boom, we have 6 enemies. So it kind of sucks. I really want to be careful not to get into a battle here, because I would have to single target everybody with just the sword. Kind of a long dungeon too. I mean, really confusing. You saw all those multiple pathways. They're just completely like misleading. 5 more battles, looks like. 1 immediately upon entering this room. Alright, check out this optimization. I don't know why that there's a hidden path here, but boom.
Get red steps.
Just goes.
Every little shortcut counts.
So, I have no explanation for that hidden path. Sorry, guys.
What an Easter egg.
They had 1 extra like page left in Nintendo Power to fill it out, and they just decided, well, put something here.
Yeah, that could be it, man. This is a mostly like featureless area. It's hard to. Okay, it's 2nd bridge tile. That's right. All right. And we're almost through, and we'll get the airship invincible, which is buried here in the labyrinth. It's a really slow airship, but it has a really cool theme. And it's like one of the coolest airships in Final Fantasy, like as far as features go. Like it's got four different item shops, like magic shop, item shop, armor shop, weapon shop. It has a bed, it has a fat chocobo, it's got everything you need. Of course I only use the item shop, but it's pretty sweet. There it is. So now it also has the feature of being able to fly over a thin mountain range. So we'll use that to access the Cave of Darkness. Another really annoying dungeon. So she's going to show us around a bit. The fat chocobo. Oh yeah. Alright. So, apparently, if you... we're just gonna impulsively cast exit here. So I don't have to walk all the way over to the steering wheel. It takes way too much time. So normally when flying around the airship, your steps counter is not active, but in this area, steps counter is active. You can get into battles in this one spot. So kind of a complex maze to get through this. This crappy area. So it's right, down, down, down. And it's actually a pretty high encounter rate as well. so you'll see me using quite a bit of potions to skip stuff. It's kind of cool. If I accidentally get into a battle, I'll show you. It's right down, up right. If you get into a battle while in the airship, the turn starts off with